21-year-old Rebecca Godwin lives in Jos, Plateau State. She's a first-time voter and elated that she will be among the deciders of the fate of the next president and National Assembly members at the polls. She has a permanent voter card, but recounts the journey to becoming an eligible voter.
In the previous time when I did the voters card, and they said that we should come back the next day and collect it, so I was not around. So I went there. They was not there. They said that they are in Secretariat Joshua in Sudan, so I went there to collect it.
It counts down to the rescheduled presidential and National Assembly elections, and first-time voters feel the excitement to be part of the process. But that excitement is wrapped in fear of uncertainty. 20-year-old Sophia Samuel is a
Voting materials arrive in the polling units as early as 6 a.m. in some polling booths across the country. Voting is taking place in 119,973 polling booths in the 36 states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. In Adamawa, the first task performed by the electoral officers is the removal of campaign posters and the pasting of INEC instruction guidelines and materials. In Plateau, voters also turned out early. The story is the same in Anambra, Delta, and Imo states.
The voters that have been able to come here today because since they are having indifference because of the postponement of the last Saturday's election, they might not be able to withstand the pressure of staying here for a long time. So we call on INEC to please, wherever they are, to come and commence accreditation and voting so that people will cast their vote and go.
In Edo, electoral officers took time to explain the voting process to eligible voters who arrived early at some of the polling centers visited by our correspondents.
After you authenticate your card, now, you want to register either pass or fail. If it is pass, at the right time, you just take out pass.
In Koshofe local government area of Lagos, INEC materials were delayed in some polling booths visited by our correspondents. And some voters who had their PVCs could also not find their names on the voters' list already pasted at the centers. Our correspondents also witnessed security presence on major roads, with police officers and soldiers carrying out thorough checks.
It's 8:17 and INEC officials and ad hoc staff are just arriving this polling center. However, there are bits of complaints here and there.
If you check the television station right now, it shows that they showed President voting in his own hometown. So why do they allow some people to start before others? They might extend the time beyond the norm.
We step out to see the voting list. This man here cannot find his name.
My name is not here.
The highways are devoid of its usual heavy traffic, and these security operatives are not leaving any stone unturned, especially in the area of checking and rechecking. Loretta Chiogo, Channels Television News.
Welcome back to The Verdict, where we bring you all things 2019 general elections. Don't forget you can hashtag The Verdict and send a comment through. We're giving you the lines that you can call in via WhatsApp and get live on channels, and then they can hear what it is that you've got to say. Now we have another one coming through from Ejigbo. Now, as at 11:13 a.m. when this images, the videos came through, as you can see there, it's bare because no INEC officials there.
An elderly woman is just standing right there.
So they're waiting eagerly for the officials to come in and do what it is that they've got to do. So, well, even though they've said, well, don't worry, just calm down as much as you can, they'll get across to the officials to ensure that they get there with those materials. It may have taken them a while. Now they should have been there by 8, because that's when it starts and it should end at 2.
Because this will definitely bring a level of frustration to the people waiting to vote. We're hoping that they will not begin to leave, as we're hearing in some other PEs.
Don't leave.
That the people are leaving, but would like to encourage them to stay because we have to get this right. Really. If we miss this opportunity, then it becomes we'll have to repeat it again in 2023.
So this day, it's better to get it right today and miss it than to miss it for 4 years. So it's important. It may not be easy. Nothing good comes easy anyway.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see.
And then you know, we talked about this in the build-up to this election, that the implication of not getting it right is a lot more serious than the delay that we may have in this process. And I think that's part of the education, Mr. Ogwade, that people need to be aware of, that we have to get it right, no matter how long it takes, as opposed to not getting it right at all.
Yes. Let me just quickly chip in one or two information that are very important here. Time begins to count when the voting starts in your area. So those who have not started at 11 o'clock, it is when they come that they begin to count. So obviously the ballot will not close at 2 o'clock. So they should note that. Then about living or not living, we are all human beings. Some people may live next door, close by, and all. That's why, well, in our various campaign before the election, we told people they should get ready. It's going to be a long, long day. So it's not a thing that we're talking about 2 minutes, 3 minutes. But of course, there are some people who are passionate. There are some people like this hiccup that will occur, and definitely they may not be able to access to be able to vote. So you can go with your lunch, your breakfast pack or your lunch pack, and find somewhere comfortable to sit. Fortunately, elections, particularly in some areas, take place in a community. So there are places that you can relax. And of course, in some communities too, we've told them that if they know that it's some area that is a stress, they can, like they did in Ejigbo now that you saw, they will put up a tent near the voting area, make themselves comfortable. You saw that to happen where the vice president is supposed to vote. So you make yourself comfortable instead of just being stressed, because when you are comfortable. But one thing I can assure everyone is that everyone will vote, and the ballot does not close 2 o'clock exactly because you didn't start voting 2 o'clock. Let me quickly chip in this. For issues of violence or so, please, we want community leaders, influencers, faith-based or religious leaders, and even political leaders to talk to their people. like you asked about hoodlums who are on the loose. They will call them, they have a machinery, they have a way, they have a line, they have a communication line. They will call them and say they know those who are the ones that will foment trouble in an area. They call them that, no, we don't want any wahala because anything now will snowball on us. I can assure you that the security agents, they know those who are troublemakers in every area. And that's why you hear them, they say that they are on beat in every flashpoint. And I can assure you again that maybe if those people who said hoodlums are disturbing them, if they put any report across now again, they will have told us that that area has been, peace have come to that area. I can assure you, because obviously we want a peaceful election, and all these things are not things that we should have.
Indeed, we do. Because,
Mr. Olaide, I'd like to ask Mr. Olaide a question.
We have to push this in.
Yeah, okay.
We have to push this in because we are keeping focus on just about everywhere in the country. And we have the information that voting has actually started at Akabweze polling unit, where the Young Progressive Party YPP candidate Kingsley Moghalu will be voting. As we have encouraged you that if you have any situation report, you could use that hotline where we can get you through our WhatsApp number, just to be able to get more information and more visual about this.
But okay, yes, let's go to Abuja now. It's so nice to easily go to Abuja from here. Yeah, Mr.
Whatever happens to your hinterland?
Stick to your hinterland.
Well, give me live feeds from the hinterland.
In fairness, we must get reports from the hinterland, because that's where the vote counts.
Yes, we definitely
the local,
help
the
me
real
tell
local,
them. Help
the
me
real
tell
local,
them.
the Edward, the Yakoyo, the Patanis.
Help me tell
What
them.
happens? What happens at the hinterland?
Is a lot, because there is not, the eye of the public is not there. So just as you heard, what was it now in the rivers? Where is that area? Okrika.
Yes.
That's the typical thing that happens. So big man will just come and just be, they have political guns, leaders there, and they ensure that they determine what happens, irrespective. Sometimes it is awareness. I'm sure, if not because of awareness, it won't happen. You don't hear news from such places. Okrika, no.